Sit down and heal with Coach Derrick. Let that old pain breathe and we air it. You already know that you need to heal. Let me show you how. Turn the volume up, talk it out right now. Sit down and heal with Coach Derrick. You picking through, can you feel it? You already know that you need to heal. Let me show you how. Turn the volume up, talk it out right now.
Welcome to another episode of Sit Down and Heal with Coach Derrick. My name is Coach Derrick and I am your host. I'm a certified healing journey coach and relationship coach, which means I help you bridge the two. I help you heal first and then we send you back outside. And my moniker here is, you already know you need to heal. Let me show you how. We got a whole bunch of how here. I'm a coach, so that means we get busy off of the app. We make sure that you get all the tools and training that you need so that you don't keep making the same mistakes again. You make some new ones, but the same ones, we're going to get you together. So tonight is the last episode of a 4-part series called Reboot Love. And it's all about taking an assessment of everything that you've been through in your love life and relationships, and you reboot. Because it's time for you to be a renewed version of yourself so that you can make better decisions, because you will be a better you, right? So we first talked about how your love life crashes because it's based around a computer that needs to be rebooted, right? We talked about the shadow work, which is the bugs in the computer, and we need to make sure that we identify the bugs so we know how to fix it. Then we talked about communication as being a part of the upgrade and how you have better communication because now you have a better understanding of yourself through the shadow work. You identified the bugs. Now we reinstall the upgrade. So now this last one, self-love, is the final upgrade. So now we're about to put a cap on it, right? So I welcome you guys here. This is a podcast, so all the audio will be uploaded to all podcast platforms. So that's Spotify. That's Apple Podcasts. I'm not going to say the name because it's going to turn on, but the Amazon Music will say that. And literally iHeartRadio, like Pandora, wherever you get them from is there. So let's do this. So the topic is self-love is the final upgrade. And we're talking about dating from wholeness and not hunger. And those of you who follow me or have listened to some of my previous podcasts, we always talk about hunger. We always talk about the little kid eating first, right? The inner child getting its way and you not having control over it, or perceived not having control over it because it's subconscious. And so we want to make sure that we are as whole. We are as a best version of ourselves, right? Because we're on a journey to be better, a journey to heal. So we want to make sure that if we're going to enter the dating pool, we need to be as whole as possible so that we're not going in starving, because you know what happens when you're starving and you go to the grocery store, you're going to pick up some stuff that you probably shouldn't get. It's probably not even going to be good for you, right? Some of us got a sweet tooth. We can't stop ourselves. It'd be 11 p.m. and we be in there munching on something. But when you do that, sometimes there's a price to pay. So we got to make sure that we are good stewards of not just our bodies, but our minds, hearts, and spirits, right? So let's talk about this. I have a few bullet points. So we're going to run through this. But again, those of you who are listening, this is not the coaching. And I repeat, this is not the coaching. This is the epiphany. And then when you get the epiphany, then you hit me up and say, hey, coach, I had the epiphany. Now let's go to work. So let's talk about this. So the first bullet point I have is why self-love isn't confidence, it's consistency, right? Because, you know, these conversations that we have online about love, right? And we talk about it's something you have to choose. You got to choose it every day. The person that you end up with is that you're choosing to love them every day, right? That's what we say. But what about self-love? Are we choosing to love ourselves every day? Because sometimes, right, people equate if I love myself, that means I'm automatically confident. If I love myself, I'm going to make, the right choices because I love myself. And sometimes, some days you might not. So it's really a consistent choice. It's like a muscle that you build, right? Some of us don't even have a muscle. We got to work out, right? And so we got to make sure that loving ourselves is a priority. We got to make sure that we prioritize loving ourselves. And I think a lot of times we get confused with self-care because it feels good, right? It feels good to be pampered. It feels good to go hang out with your friends and have a good time. But what happens when you by yourself? What happens when you by yourself? When the massage table is gone? When the brunch is gone? Who you sitting with? Right? A lot of us are dependent on external validation for ourselves to feel love for ourselves. Isn't that weird that we do that? I was a card-carrying member of this, right? External validation was how I received love. I didn't love me. And so because of that, that informed who I chose, how I chose, where I stayed too long. Because in my mind, I gave ownership of my own love for myself, my own self-esteem to somebody else. I let them take care of it for me. I let them take care of it for me and own it for me. And what happens when other people, when you give control of that to someone else, what happens when they leave or you leave them? What happens to you? You think you love yourself more or less? It's ugly. It's an ugly feeling. Codependency and all those things that we have our tentacles in on another person and they become our self-esteem. Isn't that weird? Self-esteem, but somebody else is I gave ownership to it. So it's really not self, right? It's like them esteem. It's not self-esteem, right? So when we dive in like this, it's ugly on the inside of a relationship because if you don't love yourself, a lot of us are going to try to love over, right? Abundance of love to someone else to fill in the gaps that we don't have. And we do it because we think we're going to get it back. But those of us who do this, do we get it back the way we want it or need it? Absolutely not. And we sit there and we stay. And as long as they do what we need, or as long as they just exist, then we feel like we're okay. We feel like we're okay, but we're not really okay. There's still something missing. You know, a lot of people I coach, when they're trying to leave a relationship, they're trying to detach from their partner because they know it's abusive and toxic and all this stuff. And they'll say, I know I need to leave, but I can't. Because who would I be without them? Think about those words. Who would I be without them? Remember, I tell you guys here, words mean things if you really slow down and listen to them. Who would I be without them? That's the question. And the bigger question is, who are you? Because if you don't know who you are, you definitely not going to know who you are without someone that you've granted access and control over your esteem and everything. Who are you? And a lot of us, our identity is solely based on who we pair with. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't know who you are outside of a relationship. You know what happens when you do this? If you don't know who you are outside of a relationship, that means you need one in order for you to feel like a whole person. We know people like this. They'll say, I love myself, but I don't even function right if I don't have somebody. These words, these sentences, y'all be thinking I'm crazy when I'm like, listen to the sentence, parse the words out. I cannot function outside of a relationship. You think they're going to make educated choices when they dating? They hungry. They hungry for something. And they're going to find it. Because it's almost like life or death for them. Like they need a man or they need a woman for them to feel like a whole person. Right? We know people like this. Some of y'all are these people right now. You going in the grocery store hungry. Y'all know when y'all go in the grocery store and you want to get 2 items and you like, damn it, I'm hungry. You know what? That look good. Next thing you know, the whole cart full of stuff you don't need. The little kid is eating first. And if you don't know what that means, that just means your inner child. All of the things that make you and have been fostered inside you to pick and attach to people, you're letting that pick your dates. So when you do this, it's just like going in the grocery store hungry. You're going to pick some garbage. Right? So let me stay on task. Cause y'all know I can do these blind, but I'm gonna try to stay because it is a series. So let's wrap the series up. Right? So consistency in self-love. Because what happens a lot of times, and you guys know this, right? A lot of times we'll have the epiphany. I need to love myself. Yes, it's a little melodic. I need to love myself. It feels amazing. And then all it takes is something to knock you off your square and you go in that downward spiral and that self-love is gone and you don't know how to get it back. It's something a lot of us got to work at because it's not always on. We got to wake up and choose it. It's daunting, right? Because life sucks sometimes. Survival mode be right on your neck. Love what? I got to make sure everybody else fed. Me last. Me last. How much love you think you gonna have for yourself if everybody's always first? You can say it out your mouth. You're not even number 8 on the list. Not today, not tomorrow, for 10 years, 20 years. You number 9. 9 out of 9. So it has to be important that you love you. There's a strength in that, right? There's a strength in prioritizing yourself. And I know from personal experience that if you have perpetually always put yourself last, even stepping up a notch or two feels like climbing up Mount Everest. It's hard to do. It's almost like a root programming. But when you do, the sky opens up. You see the world differently because you're starting to be a little different. It's still in you, though. Sometimes it's a fight. Fighting your root programming to do something different is hard. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's hard to do, because you often revert back to what you know. You're going to have to work at it. Because some of us been in survival mode for like 2 decades. And you tell that person to put themselves first. It ain't happening overnight. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. It may not even happen this year. But you got to work on it and choose it. You got to schedule yourself in your schedule, or it ain't going to happen. Right? We have a comment that says transform self-care from occasional indulgence into a habit that builds resilience and trust. Resilience. There's that word, resilience. This is something that we don't talk about enough. That's that muscle you build. Repetition, habit change, right? It's hard to put, this right here, this triggering me on camera. Putting yourself last, that was my claim to fame. I got this. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I got it. I will figure it out. If it's the last breath I take, I'm going to make sure you good. People like me, reciprocity be missing. Reciprocity be on 0 and we still keep going. As long as they're good, I'm good. We'll say it to ourselves. As long as they happy, I'm happy. Isn't that weird to say? The only way that I'm happy is if I make them happy. Then I'm good. We sabotage ourselves. I've done it my whole life. You ain't never gonna really be totally like content with life because you don't even know what the hell you like anymore. You don't even know what you like. We start adopting other people's likes because we don't even know ourselves anymore. Self-love, what's that? Self-identity, how about that? Do we even know? Like, it's so many of us that's cosplaying happiness. Ooh, I said it. There's so many of us that's cosplaying happiness. And you know, people, because y'all know I'm a nerd, right? Y'all know people who cosplay. When they spend that money on those costumes and they make this elaborate thing that looks so identical to the character that they embody that character. They become that character while they got that suit on. And you can't tell them that their name is Billy. They Superman. Y'all know when y'all put these costumes on, right? Eventually it's going to get hot inside. You're going to have to take it off. Should I keep going? I think I'm going to keep going. How many of us have worn that costume so long that we don't even know what loving ourselves look like because everybody else loves Superman? We get a high off of people loving the character that we don't even get to be ourselves. If somebody says self-love, you're like, what I need that for? The costume working. Ooh, I hope y'all caught that. I hope y'all caught that, damn it. You think the costume is working until you do something crazy like get into a relationship and you realize they love the costume. You have those intimate moments and you can't even be you. How long you can keep that up, I don't know, but the costume getting hot. And every time you pull that mask off your head to get some air, they be like, who is that? That ain't you. Give me back the costume. You be like, all right. Self-love where? Awareness of yourself where? So when somebody says self-love, do you even know where to start? You a clone of your mama and your daddy. They wanted me to be this, so I'm this, and I'm the, yes, and I'm the. Then what do you like? I don't know. They just told me to. Now you 55, and you're like, you know what? I feel like I want to be myself now. It happens to the best of us. But it's never too late. It's never too late. I have clients that are like, you know what? They're experienced. Let me just say that. Okay? It's never too late. I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. I wore that costume. Let me be real. Like, I wore that costume from about age 10 to about age 30. Early 30s. That thing was on. Because in my little head, well, that's not that little, but in my head, I thought that if they saw the person under the costume, they wouldn't like me. I spoke for them, right? If they get to see the real me, what if they don't like me? I was afraid of that. But after a while, I didn't care about being afraid of it because they like Superman so much. They like Superman so much that I forgot about me. And if y'all ever know anything about most superheroes, right? Habitually, for most of them, do any of them ever get checked on? To see if they okay? Nobody checks on Superman. Nobody checks on none of these superheroes because they're expected to perform. Listen to my words. They're expected to perform. We ain't even looking at the notes no more. They're expected to perform. So if my costume, right, I may get some kudos for being Superman. And even when I want to rest, I can't because I'm expected to be Superman all the time. Self-love where? Somebody be like, do you love yourself? Do I need me? I got to find me first. You know, it's like a trickle-down effect, right? Pay attention to what I'm doing because I'm getting a download right now. And those of you that are listening on Spotify, when I get a download, that means a message is coming up. It's coming through my bald head. It's going in my mind, and it's about to come out my mouth. Think about this. In tears, right? So you got Superman costume, right? Then you got the real you beneath that. Then underneath that, you got the inner child. So your real redemption story got to start from inside and work its way out. So you can peel off the costume, you regulate that inner child, and you become a renewed spirit. Unapologetic about who you are. And you surround yourself with people that align with you now because you know you now. Right? So I have to read these comments because we have a professional in the building. I want to make sure that we, he says, Sylvester says, where individuals hide their true selves to avoid judgment, rejection, or vulnerability, it frequently involves a fear of being exposed as a fraud, imposter syndrome. So listen, guys, if there was like this, what I just described, if there was like a book, I'd be in there and they'd be like, yeah, Derrick, that's him. That was me. See, once upon a time in a land far, far away, right? And those of you who understand what I'm about to say, you understand what I'm about to say. I was always a nerd. But in the 80s, it was not cute to be one. You got teased. Wasn't nobody really trying to mess with you for real. It creates a psyche where you almost feel like you almost not like you excel in a lot of things, but you really want to play over here too. But they won't let you in. Some of us took that on our back and was like, it's cool. I'm going to school with my Luke Skywalker lightsaber. And some of us, because it wasn't accepted where we were from, we hid it. And we pretended to be something else to be accepted. That was me. So I had to mimic other behaviors so they wouldn't see that side of me. Even though, I can't really hide it, but I tried my best. Right? And guess what happens when I hit it? They liked it. Oh, they liked it. I didn't see that coming. I just wanted to kind of like ride right under the radar, but not be super exposed as being the not cool guy, but they liked it. You know what happens when you're chasing that validation and it actually comes to you? It's a drug that you need to have often. Self-love where? You got to chase that drug. You got to wear that costume every day. You get into a relationship and you got to keep it on. Ouch. Let's breathe. You got to keep it on because that's what they fell in love with. You know how many of us are outside right now that's in a relationship and they can't even have a voice in their own relationship because they had to pretend everything is cool? A lot of us have been that person where we allow other people to mold us in the image of what they like just so that we don't have to show up and they judge or they dismiss the real version of us. They tell you jump, you jump. They tell you what to put on, dress, go do it. I don't like blue. You can't say that. Suck it up. Self-love where? Because we ain't even talking about confidence and I'm shy and I'm an introvert. No. You can't even show up as you. So this next one, I'm going to run through this bullet point because y'all know I ain't even been looking at the notes. But this is something that I talk about a lot, so I'm not going to like belabor the point, right? Choosing partners from alignment instead of loneliness, right? We talk about alignment a lot, right? Some of us are dating and relationship and just strictly because we're lonely. No other reason. I don't even love myself enough to sit. Y'all think my business and my brand is called Sit Down and Heal for nothing? Sometimes we got to sit. You sit down, some of us, right? You sit down for 30 days and you'll go through convulsions because you won't even know how to survive. Me, it was 7 days. I talk to y'all about that all the time. 7 days, couldn't do it. Let that Friday hit, that weekend hit. I'm outside because I can't sit. Not outside to have fun, outside to find somebody because I don't want to be by myself. And let me tell y'all a little trade secret. Some people, when they do what I was doing, it wasn't about finding somebody to take home. It was just being in the energy of it, right? You get the phone number, but you never call. You just needed to get that little hit real quick. You was in their face for a little bit, got the phone number, went home, was like, and then you, cause sitting by yourself, you can't get that. Right? The shakes, the need for that validation, it was huge. Imagine having the Superman costume on, everybody shouting your name, Superman, Superman, Superman. Oh my God. You get into a relationship and your lady or whatever, Wonder Woman and your man, and they like, yay. And then you break up. Who's shouting Superman now? It got quiet, didn't it? Superman don't even love himself because he always had to do for everybody else. He had to sit down. Ain't nobody to save. It's just you. But in the back of your head, you hear Superman, Superman, Superman. How can I duplicate that? I need that back. Oh, y'all gonna learn some shit today. Superman, Superman, Superman. All right, damn it. Let me put this damn costume on and go outside. I'm gonna find me somebody that's gonna say Superman, Superman. All right, where can I go? Where do people like Superman? Let me go here. Let me do some research and figure out where they love a Superman. And then I can go in there and get my fill. I can't sit by myself because I don't get the praise. I don't even love myself enough to sit down for 7 days. You know how daunting that is for a person that requires that external validation in order for them to feel whole? How you think they're going to enter the dating pool? And if they found their person, would it even be enough? Would that one person even be enough if I'm starved that long, that much? We got to sit down. We got to detox, or we're going to be real hungry for something. We have to sit down and learn to love ourselves, or we will try to find somebody to do it for us. That will create a very hungry creature that will pick something instead of aligning with something. Right? You got to trust yourself. Once you actually sit down and really figure out who you are, you got to trust the decisions that you're making now. You got to be proud of who you are, because that's the person that should be met. That's the person that you want somebody to fall in love with. Imagine being broken, traumatized, unhealed, and dating. Who you think gonna fall in love with you? Or find you? Not fall in love. Who you think gonna find you? And who would you attach to in that state of mind? You think you're gonna fall in love fast or slow? Right? Car carrier, remember that one too? Ooh. I was addicted to the feeling of love. Not the relationship, the feeling of love. That was my drug of choice. Because see, all my counterparts and my boys, they was chasing smecks. I was chasing the feeling of love, which would then have a byproduct of possibly smecks. But that derivative of the love, then when I got to the smecks part, it was magical because it had emotions included. And I was like, right? But it was fake because you would have to get someone like that wanted to be in a relationship. Oh. All for my own validation, for me to feel whole, and using them as a coping mechanism. Self-love where? It's gone. But it's never too late to find it. It's never too late to feel it. It's never too late to know it. But first we have to be aware and know ourselves. That's the healing journey that we do here at Sit Down and Heal Coaching, right? We got to get down to who you are in order for you to evolve into who you need to become. There's no becoming without the work. There's no redemption arc without the work. There's no better choices. There's no better discernment. There's no better boundaries without the work on you. That's why I created this platform, because now you can get guidance on this stuff without having to do it by yourself, because doing it by yourself is scary. You do it with a team. You do it with a family. You do it with a coach. Now the little heebie-jeebies start to go down a little bit because now you got some accountability built in. We got to do what we got to do, or we going to continue doing the same thing. And we know what that feel like. It don't feel right. It hurt. Some of us still hurting from a relationship from 5 years ago. Like it's fresh. You think a person that is still just as hurt 5 years from being separated from someone, the same intensity, that attachment runs real deep. How much of that person's identity you think was given away to be owned by the other person? This is why a lot of times when people spin the block, right, they call me and say they miss me. A lot of times it's because you got to go back in order for you to feel like a whole person again. Like, oh, I got to go back. It's easy to go back because you haven't built up that resilience. So you think, might as well. You know, what do they say? Stick with the devil you know. Well, I already know what come with them. If I meet somebody else, it might be worse, so I might as well. Stop it. Please stop doing that. Stop. How about just don't choose a devil at all? So anyway, moving right along. I talked about a lot of this stuff and I didn't even read the notes. But here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna probably do some pop-ups about this too, about safety, right? How can you require safety from another person if you're not safe inside? You don't trust yourself. You don't even feel safe being by yourself. Listen to what I'm saying. You can't sit by yourself because you don't feel safe. You can't sit by yourself because you don't feel safe. It's scary. Who am I? You don't feel safe. So you go in a dating pool looking for somebody to make you feel safe. Let me tell you something. Let's as Nino Brown said, kick the ballistics. Imagine a world, and we're going to use gender. We're going to use gender. And we can bear this out, and we know this is true. Well, at least I do, because I did it, right? Shh. So listen, you take a woman who is looking to be met. She's trying to find her husband, but she doesn't necessarily know how to vet. She doesn't really know about alignment. She just knows that she wants somebody there. She needs a man to make her feel safe, not externally, internally. This is the primary directive in programming for her to meet someone, is that they make her feel safe because she is not capable of making herself feel safe. You know what happens when you date like this? You will allow me access to things that I don't deserve because you think that if you allow me to have them, that it makes you feel safer. You make yourself think that this will make me loyal. This will make me stay because you need me to make you feel safe when you don't have it for yourself. You will not see any of what I'm doing coming. You're going to let me come in your house and do all of this stuff after 2 days because there's a need there. Your own personal safety matters not when you don't care about yourself. I need for y'all to catch this. You don't give a damn about your safety because you don't care about yourself enough. That doesn't make you a bad person. But if you look at the history of your experiences, there'll be some patterns there. When you don't have self-love, you will see yourself with a lot of instances where your boundaries were non-existent. Because if you don't care about yourself, why would you care about your safety? And we know that if we bear this out, and it's not gender specific, where we didn't care about our safety, we just wanted to feel good. We just wanted to feel good. Right? How many women, college or whatever, the dude, you done met the dude, and the next day he was on your couch chilling, watching TV, and you're like, wait, safety? What safety? Some of y'all forwent y'all safety so much, y'all got a kid out of it. I don't really know him, but it felt good. Somebody ribs is hurting right now. We didn't care about our safety. Men, you could have got jumped going over there. I've been in some neighborhoods going to meet somebody, and I was like, wait, you live over there? Why are they sitting on the steps? Can I get through? Y'all better stop playing with me. Moving right along. Moving right along. Yes, men have risked their lives tons of times and didn't give a damn because we were trying to get some. Y'all know, and y'all probably know people where the man showed up and next thing you know, so he got beat over the side of the head and got robbed. Like, come on, man. We didn't care about that. Well, I'm gonna say y'all didn't care about that. Shh, I'm innocent. So now we gotta run through these now because y'all got me. Actually, you know what? We don't have to. This is my show. We're gonna do it my way. So let me at least look at the bullet points because they looking at me. So I wrote something down. Dating should be an extension of your healed life and not the solution to it. The coping mechanisms in the dating pool. Oh, I need to do that show. I need to name it that. So now we got to do Since this theme is about rebooting your love, we can't do short-term fixes on this computer. We got to do long-term fixes. Right? And when you have a computer, right, and you fix it, you antivirus clean it. Right? Think about this, because y'all know this. Y'all ain't young. You put the little Norton antivirus or whatever the hell it is, it clean it off, right? That day. Is your computer risk free at that point? Something else gonna happen again. What you gotta do? Clean it again. This is life, y'all. Stuff is always gonna happen. But now I have tools to help clean it up. That's the coaching. Now, if I have a bug in the system, I can go back and look at where it came from, shadow work. When I crash because I broke up with somebody, I can take assessment and look at the patterns to see where I've been so I'll know where I need to go. We're always going to be doing a cleanup job. We're always going to be rebooting the system to make sure that it's working as efficiently as possible. Right? And sometimes all that work we do, sometimes that computer get old. We just got to upgrade how we treat ourselves, how we view the world, because we grow. And then we make better decisions because now we know how the computer works. Yeah, a bug gonna come, but we got this program for that. Yeah, but something else gonna happen. Oh, the childhood wound showed up again. Well, you know what? We know how to work on that. We got a manual now. Some of y'all don't even look at the directions, right? Now we got directions. I swear, I hope y'all catching this. As I'm wrapping this thing the hell up in a big ass bow. So if you know that your life has a bunch of bugs and viruses in it, because you can look at your life and say, oh no, I don't want to do that again, then it's time to reboot. I have a hell of a program called Reboot Yourself. You need to ask me about it. I don't care what platform you find me on. Go to my website, www.sitdownandheal.com. Check out everything. And then message me and say, Coach, I need to reboot. I need to reboot right now because I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. Right? Like I said at the top of the show, I'm not here to force you to heal. I'm not here to tell you that you need to. You already know. I'm just here to help you with the how and the guidance on it, because doing it by yourself hasn't worked. That's if you even tried to heal yet. We got to stop rescheduling a healing journey like it's a doggone doctor's appointment and do it now. Right? This is just important. It's just as important as going to the doctor. All that hurt, pain, destruction in your life is symptoms. But now we got to work on it. You broke your leg. Now we got to put it in a cast and work on healing that thing. And you know why they put it in a cast? So you can sit still, damn it. Because you got to sit down and heal. Because if you move around too much, it ain't going to heal right. Got the damn dating pool and sit down somewhere. It's not working. Damn, that was good, wasn't it? So, as I land this plane, loving yourself, being aware of yourself, healing yourself is probably one of the most important things you're going to do in your life. because it affects everything in your life. And not just your life. Everybody around you get to see you different. Guess what that does? That gives them a model to look at and say, maybe I need to work on myself too. This just ain't about you. This is about community. This is about seeing a change. Even if it's just a few people in your life, that's enough for them to be the model for somebody else. Exponential growth is what I do. I start with you. I send you back outside and I let you infect others. But we got to start somewhere. It starts with one. It starts with one. I know I sound like an old preacher. It starts with one. Won't you come? Come on and get this coaching, y'all. Stop playing around. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep it real. We too old to keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. Right? Like, I know it may feel cute, but don't be the old man in the nightclub with the suit on. Like we can do better. Right? The validation chasing, you can, like, come on. So I hope everybody, I hope you got something out of this. This is the last part of the 4-part series called Reboot Love. And you'll have all of those replays on YouTube within the next 24 hours, as with all the other podcast episodes. And then it will also be propagated to Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well within the next 24 hours. So you'll have all of that goodness. We'll do another series after this for a whole month. So stay tuned to get that information. And we just gonna keep doing this. Like, I need for y'all to understand, I don't just do this. I love what I do. And there's a mission behind it, because I don't believe dating advice helps most of us. It will help some, but it doesn't help most of us. Most of us need to do some work. We need to love ourselves before we even take dating advice. How about that? Once I realized that, I changed my platform. I can't just be a dating coach anymore. I can't do it. Because first of all, y'all ain't gonna listen. So we might as well go ahead and get to the root of it anyway, right? Like, why are we wasting time talking about what restaurant to go to? We're not doing that here. Not on my watch. I can't do it. And even though I don't know y'all, I have to care. I have to love y'all. Because if we don't at least try to extend our arms around somebody else, then it's just us in the room by ourselves thinking that we changing the world. It don't have to be all of us. Just enough of us to care and take in the people who need assistance. I don't care if you're a coach or not. We're not on this planet alone. Some of y'all not even connecting with your kids or whatever, and I don't care the why. Somebody out there needs you, but you need you first. So all of my people, I'm raise my hand, all of my people that put ourselves last on the plate, we can't do this no more. So if you need help, let's do it together. But we got to start with us. Because what I tell most people that contact me, you don't have a dating and relationship problem. You got an inner child problem. That's where we start. That's why you have these issues. It's not because of the dating pool. It's not because of your ex. It's because you didn't do the work on yourself. That's where your discernment comes from. That's where all of these other things that you need in order to be a healthier dater, we're not doing this little what questions to ask and all that on a date. No. It's a little girl we need to talk to first. So on that note, or boy, I don't want y'all to be like, why he always talking about the women? I'll talk to y'all next time. Y'all have an amazing rest of your night. And I will see you every single Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on TikTok, replay on YouTube, and also all podcasting platforms. Y'all have an amazing night, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Sit down and heal with Coach Derrick. Let that old pain breathe and we air it. You already know that you need to heal. Let me show you how. Turn the volume up, talk it out right now. Ooh. show you how. Turn the volume